All right, Agent, welcome. You have been selected for a mission of the highest importance. We're firing up Operation Time Travel, and we're sending you, one of our very best, back to a really critical moment in history. Your target is waiting. Let's get started. Okay. Here's the deal. We're sending you back 350 years to London. Your target is a man named Samuel Pepys. He's a government guy, but more importantly for us, he kept a diary. Your job is to analyze his journals, crack some 17th century codes, and secure some key intel. And you have to do it all before the Great Fire of London hits. So, these are your directives. First up, surveillance. That means you'll be scanning the diary for all the crucial details and putting events on a timeline. Second, decryption. You're going to have to use context clues to figure out what some of these old words mean. And third, asset protection. You'll apply everything you've learned to a critical situation. So get ready. We're going live. And touchdown! We've landed in the year 1666. Your first job as our agent on the ground is to analyze the evidence. This is Evidence File A, covering winter and spring. On January 22nd, Pepys writes about how it was absolutely freezing. I mean, so cold, there was ice on the inside of the windows. Crazy, right? His servants had to get a fire going for him. Then, on February 7th, he buys his very first watch. A big deal back then. And on March 16th, he mentions just casually taking a boat to his office on the River Thames.
Now check out the huge shift in Evidence File B. This covers the summer and autumn. On June 15th, everything seems pretty normal. Pep's bought his wife a necklace and she's getting her portrait painted. But then, look at September 2nd. A massive fire is just tearing through London. By September 4th, he's so worried about his stuff, he does something really strange. He buries his expensive block of Parmesan cheese. Yes, you heard that right. Cheese.
You've looked over the intel, Agent. Great. Now it's time for your first real test. This is where those surveillance skills we talked about really come into play. Let's see if you can take these scattered events and put them into a coherent timeline. So here are the key events from the diary. But as you can see, the timeline's all scrambled up. Your task is to put everything back in the right order. We've got the fire starting, the cheese getting buried, the watch being bought, the boat trip, and the portrait painting. Use the dates from those evidence files to get it all sorted out. And here we go, the verified sequence. On February 7th, he bought his first watch. Then, March 16th, he took that boat to the office. June 15th, the portrait was painted. September 2nd, the Great Fire begins. And finally, September 4th, the cheese is buried. Timeline confirmed. Fantastic work, Agent. You absolutely nailed the surveillance part. But now, we move on to decryption. To really get what's going on, we have to understand the language of the past. It's code-breaking time. The code word we need to crack here is buried. Now, Pepys wrote, "We dug a hole in the garden and buried the cheese." The decryption box gives us two big clues: dug a hole and in the garden. So what's the connection between those actions and our target word, buried? And code deciphered. When you dig a hole and you put something inside it, you are burying it. This proves Pepys was basically using his backyard as a safety deposit box. You have to remember, back in 1666, you couldn't just run to the bank. To keep his prized possessions safe from the fire and from looters, finding them underground was actually a pretty smart move. So, let's lock that definition in. To bury something is a verb, and it means to put something under the ground. A simple but super important piece of intel for understanding this whole mission. Okay, now it's time to figure out what our subject, Pepys, was thinking. The fire is moving incredibly fast. So why?
Why are the flames spreading so quickly across the city? Agent, I want you to search the archives. Your memory of that September 2nd diary entry. Was it because the wind was strong, the houses were built of wood, or because the soldiers were all asleep?
And the answer is crystal clear, straight from Pepys himself. He wrote, "They used to build houses here with stone. Now they use wood, so the fire is growing very quickly." So there you have it. The building material was the key factor.
And let's just quickly clarify two more words from that entry. To build just means to construct something, and soldiers are people who serve in an army. Pepys actually mentioned them in his diary, trying to help by pulling down houses to stop the fire from spreading.
Agent, you've gathered some absolutely incredible intelligence from the field. The surveillance and the decryption phases are officially complete. Now it's time for asset consolidation. We gotta secure all this information you've collected.
Let's open the vocabulary vault and confirm our key words. We've got servant, the people working in the house; freezing, the intense cold; possessions, the valuable things at risk; dig and bury, the method he used to protect them; portrait, one of those high-value items; and soldiers, the guys trying to fight the fire. Let's get these terms locked in for your final report.
We're getting close to the extraction point, Agent. All that's left is to file your final mission report to make sure all of our objectives have been met.
Okay, let's go over this final report. Question 1. Did Samuel buy a watch because he missed the boat? That's false. The diary doesn't connect those two at all. Number 2. Why did he go to the office by boat? Well, the diary suggests it was just a normal way to get around on the River Thames back then. And third, if you dig a hole for your possessions, you are burying them. Perfect. Mission accomplished. You have successfully navigated the year 1666. So your report is filed, but there is one last emergency protocol we need to think about. Samuel Pepys saved his prized Parmesan cheese. When you stop and think about it, that's pretty interesting, isn't it? So your mission is complete, but I'm going to leave you with this question to think about on your own time. If disaster struck right now, what's the one prized possession you would save by burying it? Your phone? A favorite book? A photo album? Give it some thought. This is Mission Control, signing off. See you in the future.